Leaders from the ANC's Joburg region have been holding a briefing tonight in response to a police operation in the last 24 hours where ballot papers believed to have been from a regional conference held late last year were found. This was yesterday. Now, the leaders who addressed the media briefing today say they were duly and democratically elected, basically that they're here to stay, and have described what unfolded in Pretoria during that raid yesterday as a drama. SABC News senior reporter Samkele Maseko is joining us from the venue of that briefing. Samkele, as I was saying, the long and short of it is that the leaders of the ANC in the Johannesburg region believe that they, at this stage, are here to stay.
Indeed, Tembegile, the regional leadership of the ANC held an urgent regional executive committee meeting this afternoon to deliberate on those particular revelations of those ballot papers that were found in Pretoria. They are saying they're legitimate structure. They will not comment on that Hollywood movie that took place in Pretoria. It's not of their sanctioning. Those matters must be sent to the provincial task team led by Hope Papo as the provincial coordinator and sent to Luthuli House to the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, and also saying that they are a legitimate structure and they are concerned that the provincial task team is not coming out to the fore to defend this democratically elected regional executive committee of the city of Johannesburg, of the Greater Johannesburg region of the African National Congress. So they are basically saying they are unhappy that the PTT has not come out to defend them, and they should not be at pains of defending themselves. When the regional conference was presided over by the PTT and NEC members of the African National Congress.
So, given that then, Samkele, that they are mounting this defense, if you will, and pouring cold water over the police operation in Pretoria yesterday and the ballots that were found, what will be the internal process that the ANC now has to follow to ensure that ultimately this wasn't a rigged conference? Because Sasabana Manganya said the party basically is not run by the police.
But you want
Yes, he is saying that the organization is not run by the police. He is saying that it is particularly worrying that an ANC internal matter, there were NEC members, there were staff members who are working in the office of the executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Dada Morero, who were on the scene, and that this matter should be, as per the ANC constitution, be referred to the Electoral Commission to investigate and look at this matter and then report to the provincial task team and then report to the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. There can't be another parallel process that is run by law enforcement agencies and involving law enforcement agencies within internal ANC matters. They are saying and questioning that if they are saying the ballot papers should have not been at the premises of the elections agency, then where should the ballot papers have been? Because they asked the question, where are the ballot papers of the Ekurhuleni Regional Conference, of the Tshwane Regional Conference, of the Sidibeng Regional Conference? You may find that those ballot papers are with the elections agency. But there are some who have a perspective to say that these ballot papers should be in a safe environment, in an office environment, and stored for a period of 5 years, should there be any discrepancies over the regional conference. There are some who are saying that the executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg and former regional chairperson and former regional convener of Johannesburg is unhappy of the outcomes, and he has laid a formal complaint to the ANC through the provincial coordinator and through the Secretary General Fikile Mbalula.
And could this ultimately then, Samkele, lead to a rerun of that conference that was held in December? Because that's where Loyiso Masuku was then elected chairperson, beating Dada Morero.
And this was one of those particular matters. So he was
They are saying that there will be no rerun. They are a legitimately elected structure, but they will await the outcomes of what the Electoral Committee of the African National Congress will ultimately investigate on this particular matter. But they are saying that as they stand, they are a legitimate structure. They are worried that the will of the branches at this point in time is being undermined by the leadership of some within the African National Congress, not specific to any leaders. We question them whether there is a use of the state apparatus to suppress dissenting political voices. Sasabona Manganye and the other regional office bearers are saying there is no such at this point in time. There is no self-respecting ANC leader who will ultimately use the state. I will ask Mr. Sasabona just to join us quickly. Mr. Sasabona Manganye, is there a possibility that there may be a rerun of the regional conference, judging from what is being complained about by those who lost the conference and what was seen in what you describe as a Hollywood movie in Pretoria?
Look, so far, we have a regional executive committee of the ANC, unquestionable, with legitimate and all the powers as entrenched by the Constitution. There are disputes that have been raised. Look, we must allow that process of dealing with the dispute to be undertaken organizationally. Rule 14 of the ANC guide us on how to deal with those particular issues. We must allow that process to unfold. And Rule 14 is clear. The Electoral Commission must deal with those issues. There is no any other provision outside that to deal with the issues. Look, as I have indicated, matters that happened in Pretoria are matters that national will deal with, the province will deal with. We are not a party to them. We don't even know the reason why it happened, so we can't account for that. So we will allow our provincial and national leadership to deal with that. Anyway, you were there, you were director of the movie, so you can probably tell us what happened there. You know, we were not there.
Well, on the issues pertaining to these particular ballot papers, where should the ballot papers be? Where are the ballot papers of the other regional conferences? Sidibeng, Ekurhuleni, Tshwane, West Rand. Where are those ballot papers?
Ballot papers over time in the African National Congress are stored by the Independent Elections Agency. You will never find them in a regional office of the ANC because they must be kept for a particular period, depending on what the ANC have agreed with the elections agency. So there is nothing taboo with any ballots being with the elections agency anywhere. You can go in all regional conferences that have taken place. If you see any ballot of the outcomes of that regional conference in an office of the ANC, you must know that they are highly compromised, those ballots.
Are you unhappy after the PTT meeting last night that the PTT has not come out and defended this duly elected structure of the REC of Johannesburg?
Which PTT meeting?
The PTT meeting of last night.
Oh, you were in a meeting?
No, I was not.
Okay, no. You are talking about it, so it seems like you were in the meeting, and I think you must ask the one who invited you to the meeting.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sasabona Manganye, Regional Secretary of the ANC in the Greater Johannesburg region, saying they are a legitimately elected structure. There will be no rerun of a conference, but they will await the outcomes of the Electoral Committee that is investigating that matter, which is in Rule 14 of the ANC Constitution.
Samkele Maseko, director of the movie in Pretoria. Thank you very much for that. That's Samkele Maseko, our reporter at the ANC regional conference briefing that was held, regional leadership conference, I should say, held in Houghton this evening.